Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me is Aditi Lomba with the evening news. The headlines. President Ramnath Kovind confers gallantry awards at the third Defence Investiture ceremony today. India agrees to release 5 million barrels of crude oil from its strategic petroleum reserves. Prime Minister Narendra Modi discusses Bengaluru flooding with Karnataka Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai. CM announces master plan to widen main stormwater drains in Bengaluru. Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman says Jammu and Kashmir is going through a rapid development phase, says the economy of J&K will double in the coming years. Minister of Railways Ashwini Vaishnav announces theme-based tourist circuit trains Bharat Gaurav. Niti Aayog launches Sustainable Development Goals Urban Index and Dashboard 2021-22. Shimla tops the index, followed by Coimbatore and Chandigarh. Over 117 crore 63 lakh COVID vaccine doses administered in the country so far. Recovery rate stands at 98.32%. Former Congress leader Kirti Azad joins Trinamool Congress. 46 people die in a bus accident in western Bulgaria. In hockey, Men's Junior World Cup 2021 tournament to begin in Bhubaneswar tomorrow. And in Indonesia Open Badminton, Parupalli Kashyap and Lakshya Sen crash out in the first round. PV Sindhu and Kidambi Srikanth to play their first round matches tomorrow. As India created history by administering over 100 crore vaccine doses against COVID-19, All India Radio salutes all the doctors, nurses, other frontline workers and all those who got vaccinated and made this possible. Even though the country has achieved this feat, we caution our listeners that the battle against COVID is not yet over. We appeal to our listeners to get fully vaccinated at the earliest and also help others get vaccinated. Please follow these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011-2397-8046 and 1075. And now the news in detail. President Ramnath Kovind conferred 5 Kirti Chakra, 5 Veer Chakra and 9 Shaurya Chakra to the personnel of armed forces and paramilitary forces during the 4th Defence Investiture ceremony held at Rashtrapati Bhavan this evening. Of the 5 Kirti Chakra and Veer Chakra awardees, 4 personnel have been awarded posthumously in each category. The 9 Shaurya Chakra awardees include 8 of those who have been conferred posthumously. The gallantry awards were given to the personnel for displaying conspicuous gallantry, indomitable courage and extreme devotion to duty. Colonel Santosh Babu was accorded Mahavir Chakra posthumously for resisting a Chinese army attack while establishing an observation post in Galwan Valley in Ladakh sector during Operation Snow Leopard. Subedar Sanjeev Kumar of 4 Para Special Forces was accorded the Kirti Chakra posthumously for an operation in Keren sector in Jammu and Kashmir, in which he killed 1 terrorist and injured 2 others.
शत्रु का मुकाबला करते हुए असाधारण वीरता के लिए महावीर चक्र कर्नल बिकुमाला संतोष बाबू 16th बटालियन बिहार रेजिमेंट मरणोपरांत.
Naib Subedar Nuduram Soren, Havildar K. Bharani, Nayak Deepak Singh and Sepoy Gurtej Singh were awarded Veer Chakras posthumously for their gallant actions against the attack by the Chinese army in the Galwan Valley as part of the Operation Snow Leopard. Indian Air Force Air Chief Marshal Vivek Chaudhary received the Param Vishisht Seva Medal. Later in the second part of the ceremony, Jammu and Kashmir Police Head Constable Abdul Rashid Kalas was awarded Kirti Chakra posthumously for showing exemplary courage in engaging and eliminating hardcore terrorists during an operation in Pulwama in 2019. His wife, Taslima Begum, received the award.
शत्रु का मुकाबला करने के सिवाय असाधारण वीरता के लिए कीर्ति चक्र श्री अब्दुल राशिद कालस, हेड कांस्टेबल, जम्मू एवं कश्मीर पुलिस, मरणोपरांत. 18 फरवरी 2019 को वरिष्ठ पुलिस अधीक्षक पुलवामा को पिंगलेना गांव में जैश ए मोहम्मद आतंकवादियों के समूह की बैठक की विश्वसनीय सूचना प्राप्त हुई, जिसमें वे फिदायिनी हमले की योजना बना रहे थे। पुलिस और सुरक्षा बलों के 2 संयुक्त दलों का गठन किया गया। विषम परिस्थितियों के बावजूद गोलीबारी के बीच बचाव दल ने लोगों को सुरक्षित निकालना जारी रखा। भारी गोलीबारी के दौरान सब इंस्पेक्टर आजाद अहमद, हेड कांस्टेबल अब्दुल राशिद कालस और कुछ सैन्य कार्मिकों को गंभीर चोटें लगी, परंतु वे अपने जीवन की परवाह किए बगैर नागरिकों को बचाते रहे।
Jammu and Kashmir Special Police Officer Bilal Ahmed Magre was awarded Shaurya Chakra posthumously for showing indomitable courage in evacuating civilians and engaging terrorists despite being seriously injured during a counter-terror operation in Baramulla in 2019. His mother, Sara Begum, received the award.
Sub-Inspector Mahavir Prasad Godara of the CISF will receive the Shaurya Chakra. Posthumously, his wife Srimati Indira Godara, Inspector Arshad Khan of the Jammu and Kashmir Police. His award will be received by Srimati Nilufar Bashir.
Lieutenant General C.P. Mohanty, Vice Chief of Army Staff, also received Param Vishisht Seva Medal from the President.
India has agreed to release 5 million barrels of crude oil from its strategic petroleum reserves. This release will happen in parallel and in consultation with other major global energy consumers, including the USA, China, Japan and South Korea. Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas in a statement said that India strongly believes that the pricing of liquid hydrocarbons should be reasonable, responsible and be determined by market forces. India has repeatedly expressed concern at supply of oil being artificially adjusted below demand levels by oil-producing countries, leading to rising prices and negative attendant consequences. The ministry said that the Prime Minister has been consistently reviewing the high petroleum and diesel prices domestically. It is said in a bid to control inflationary pressures, Government of India had reduced the central excise duty on petrol by 5 rupees and diesel by 10 rupees on 3rd of this month. It was followed by a reduction in VAT on fuel by many state governments. The ministry said that these difficult steps, despite the high fiscal burden on the government, were taken in order to provide relief to citizens. Karnataka Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai visited Manyata Tech Park, Jawaharlal Nehru Centre for Advanced Scientific Research and surrounding areas in Bengaluru today, which were flooded due to incessant rainfall earlier. He inspected the main storm water drains that absorb the rainwater. Speaking later, the Chief Minister informed that Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi had called him this morning and has sought details on flooding of low-lying areas. In Jawaharlal Nehru Centre, the rainwater had centred labs, damaged the equipment and other vital research appliances. Mr. Bommai announced that a master plan will be drawn to widen Rajakalus or main storm water drains in Bengaluru. The master plan will ensure smooth flow of floodwater from Yelanka through Mahadevpura and join Pinakini River. To avoid flooding in the city due to heavy downpour, the main storm water drains will be made to absorb excess water and diversion canals will be built to ensure smooth flow of water. Mr. Bommai said that 714 illegal structures that have encroached upon storm water drains are identified and will be evicted. Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has said that Jammu Kashmir is going through a rapid development phase. After 2019, several pending projects have been completed and benefits are now reaching the eligible persons. She assured that economy of Jammu and Kashmir will double in the coming years. The Finance Minister, who is on a 2-day visit to Jammu and Kashmir, said this while addressing a gathering at a function organized in University of Jammu. She invited investors to come forward and establish more trades in Jammu and Kashmir. She assured every budgetary and financial support would be extended to Jammu and Kashmir. The Finance Minister said NPAs of banks were the cause of worry and NDA government has taken several steps for reforms in banking sector and bringing down the NPAs. Union government will work in close coordination with administration of Jammu and Kashmir in bringing all schemes of central government in Jammu and Kashmir, Sitharaman said. On the occasion, Finance Minister also handed over the token sanction letters and checks to various beneficiaries financed by banks and financial institutions under different schemes launched by the central government. Finance Minister also handed over 200 crore rupees sanction letter to Ranjan Prakash Thakur, Principal Secretary, Industries and Commerce, Government of Jammu and Kashmir, and SIDBI Cluster Development Fund. Sitaraman also inaugurated several projects and also laid foundation of different projects across Union territories of Jammu and Kashmir.
The Niti Aayog under the Indo-German cooperation has released the inaugural Sustainable Development Goals SDG Urban Index and Dashboard 2021-22. In its journey towards localizing the SDGs and instituting robust SDG progress monitoring systems at the national, state and UT and local levels, Niti Aayog has achieved yet another milestone with the launch of the inaugural SDG Urban Index and Dashboard 2021-22 today. The index and dashboard are a result of the Niti Aayog, GIZ and BMZ collaboration focused on driving SDG localization in cities under the umbrella of Indo-German Development Cooperation. Total 56 urban areas were considered for computation. Shimla tops the index, followed by Coimbatore and Chandigarh. The index and dashboard will further strengthen SDG localization and institute robust SDG monitoring at the city level. Dr. Rajiv Kumar, Vice Chairman, Niti Aayog, and Professor Dr. Claudia Warning, Director General, BMZ, launched the index and dashboard. Dr. Kumar said cities are fast becoming engines of growth. He said the SDG Urban Index and Dashboard, a product of innovative partnership between Niti Aayog and GIZ, will go a long way in instituting a robust SDG monitoring system in cities and is a milestone step in the country's SDG localization journey. Our correspondent reports the statistical methodology for the SDG Urban Index is drawn from the globally accepted methodology developed by the Sustainable Development Solutions Network. The methodology used for the SDG India Index and Northeastern Region District SDG Index as well was finalized in close collaboration with the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Out of 56 urban areas ranked in the index, 44 are with the population of above 1 million, 12 are state capitals with population of less than 1 million.
You're listening to the Evening News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. President Ramnath Kovind confers gallantry awards at the third Defence Investiture ceremony today. India agrees to release 5 million barrels of crude oil from its strategic petroleum reserves. Prime Minister Narendra Modi discusses Bengaluru flooding with Karnataka Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai. CM announces master plan to widen main stormwater drains in Bengaluru. Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman says Jammu and Kashmir is going through a rapid development phase, says the economy of Jammu and Kashmir will double in the coming years. Minister of Railways Ashwini Vaishnaw announces theme-based tourist circuit trains, Bharat Gaurav. Niti Aayog launches Sustainable Development Goals Urban Index and Dashboard 2021-22. Shimla tops the index, followed by Coimbatore and Chandigarh. Over 118 crore 35 lakh COVID vaccine doses administered in the country so far. Recovery rate stands at 98.32%. Former Congress leader Kirti Azad joins Trindamul Congress. 46 people die in a bus accident in Western Bulgaria. In hockey, Men's Junior World Cup 2021 tournament to begin in Bhubaneswar tomorrow, and in Indonesia Open Badminton, Parupalli Kashyap and Lakshya Sen crash out in the first round. PV Sindhu and Kidambi Srikanth to play their first round matches tomorrow. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts. चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे।
भारत के स्वतंत्रता संग्राम में अनगिनत स्वतंत्रता सेनानियों ने अपने प्राणों की आहुति दी। कुछ इतिहास में अमर हो गए और कई गुमनाम। आजादी के अमृत महोत्सव के अंतर्गत 75 कड़ियों की श्रृंखला में हम उन वीरांगनाओं की बात करेंगे जिनका योगदान कभी भुलाया नहीं जा सकता। प्रत्येक मंगलवार परिक्रमा में सुनिए अपराजिता, देश की वीरांगनाओं को आकाशवाणी का सादर नमन।
Welcome back to the evening news. Minister of Railways Ashwini Vaishnav has announced the introduction of Bharat Gaurav, the theme-based tourist circuit trains. Speaking to media, he said these trains will help realize the vision of Prime Minister Narendra Modi to showcase India's rich cultural heritage. Mr. Vaishnav said the trains will take tourists to all the magnificent historical places. The minister said the core strength of the professionals of tourism sector would be leveraged to develop and identify tourist circuits and run theme-based trains to tap the vast tourism potential of India. Mr. Vaishnav said that Bharat Gaurav trains will be run by both private players and IRCTC in theme-based circuits. An NIA special court in Kochi today sentenced Nasheedul Hamzafar, a native of Kalpeta, to 5 years imprisonment in connection with recruiting youths from the state to the ISIS. He is said to have recruited 14 youths from Kasargod in 2016 who exited the country along with their families to join ISIS. He was detained from Kabul and deported for illegally entering Afghanistan. The matter came to light when the relatives of the youths registered complaints with the Kasargod police. The case was originally investigated by the Kasargod police and was later handed over to the NIA.
BJP National President Jagit Prakash Nadda today said that Bharatiya Janata Party believes in nationalism and the mantra of Sabka Saath Sabka Vikas. Addressing the Booth Adhyaksh Sammelan of the party in Kanpur today, Mr. Nadda criticized the opposition parties and said that while opposition believes in nepotism and remembers Jinnah, BJP remembers national heroes like Mahatma Gandhi, Tilak and Sardar Patel. Mr. Nadda reached Kanpur this morning on the second day of his visit to Uttar Pradesh. As the nation celebrates the 75th year of independence, a series of events are being organized by the government as a part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. To commemorate the occasion as Jan Utsav, All India Radio News brings its listeners a special quiz on India's freedom movement and its glorious history. The quiz will be conducted every Monday and Tuesday in morning news till 15th August next year. And now let's listen to the special program Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle. Today we are broadcasting 100th episode of the series.
Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav.
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. Birth of a Nation. India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of this struggle every day.
Today, in our 100th episode, we commemorate globally renowned Indian scientist Jagdish Chandra Bose, who died on 23rd of November 1937. A pioneer in plant physiology, radio technology, and various other scientific fields, Bose made many significant contributions to our modern understanding of the natural world. Bose's phenomenal scientific discoveries inspired the formation of modern India, has also imbued Indians with a reaffirmed identity in the fight against British imperialism.
Bose was born on the 30th of November 1858 in Munshiganj, Bengal Presidency, now in Bangladesh, to Bhagwan Chandra Bose, a civil servant who was also active in Hindu reform movements. Bose was raised in a home committed to Indian traditions and culture. His father got Bose admitted to a vernacular school as opposed to an expensive English language school to learn his own language, Bangla, and to know and understand a wide variety of people. The impact of this early life experience and contact with a range of different people stayed with Bose throughout his life and was clear in his attitude towards his work and life.
Bose's father overruled his wish to join the Indian civil services and instead sent him to England to study medicine at the University of London. However, his repeated illness kept him from completing his medical studies, and he instead pursued higher studies in natural sciences and physics. After returning to India, Bose joined the Presidency College as a professor of physics. Despite racial discrimination by British administration, he made remarkable progress in his research of remote wireless signaling. However, instead of trying to gain commercial benefit from this invention, Bose made his inventions public in order to allow others to further develop his research.
Bose made a number of pioneering discoveries in plant physiology and used his own invention, the crescograph, to measure plant response to various stimuli and thereby scientifically proved parallelism between animal and plant tissues. To facilitate his research, he constructed automatic recorders capable of registering extremely slight movements. These instruments produced some striking results, such as quivering of injured plants, which Bose interpreted as power of feeling in plants. In 1917, he founded the Bose Institute, a premier research institute of India and also one of its oldest.
While praising Jagdish Chandra Bose, Rabindranath Tagore said, "From the temple of science in the west, far across the Indus, O my friend, you have brought the garland of victory. A crater on the moon has been named in Bose's honor. We salute this great Indian."
Today, we also remember a writer-journalist and cultural activist, Pyari Chand Mitra, who left us on the 23rd of November, 1883. Mitra is known for his contribution to the development of journalism and Bangla literature.
Mitra was a member of Henry Thoreau's Young Bengal group who played a leading role in the Bengal Renaissance with the introduction of simple Bengali prose. He was associated with various social initiatives and was a member of the Calcutta University Senate, Bethune Society and the British India Association. He also worked towards development of agriculture in the country and criticized the system of permanent settlement. He also founded an organization for the translation of books on agriculture from English to Bengali.
In 1857, Mitra, along with Radhanath Sikdar, started a small magazine, Mosik Patrika, which used simple spoken Bengali prose. It was a major breakthrough in the use of Bengali, and the magazine instantly became popular. His novel, Olaler Ghorer Dulal, written under the pseudonym Tek Chand Thakur, used simple Bengali prose closer to the spoken speech of the day and was serialized in the magazine. So great was its popularity that the language style came to be known as Olali.
Pyari Chand Mitra continued to work for the betterment of Indian society till the very end. We salute this great son of the soil. That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
Best wishes to all consumers for Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Hallmark ensures purity of gold. Always purchase hallmarked gold jewellery. For any consumer-related complaints, please contact National Consumer Helpline's toll-free number 14404, issued in public interest by Department of Consumer Affairs, Government of India. Jago Grahak Jago. India's COVID vaccination coverage has crossed 118 crore 35 lakh mark. Out of the total vaccination, more than 77 crore vaccine doses have been given as first dose, while over 41 crore 29 lakh doses have been administered as second dose. The Health Ministry said more than 68 lakh 35,000 vaccine doses were administered till 7 p.m. today. As part of the nationwide vaccination drive, the centre has been supporting the states and union territories by providing them COVID vaccines free of cost. 12,202 COVID patients recovered in the last 24 hours, and the national recovery rate stands at 98.32%.
Former Congress leader Kirti Azad today joined the Trinamool Congress TMC in the presence of Party Supremo and West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee in the national capital. After joining the TMC, Mr. Azad said he will work for the development of the nation under the leadership of Mamata Banerjee. Azad is a three-time Lok Sabha member from Bihar's Darbhanga seat. At least 46 people, including 12 children, have died after a bus crashed and caught fire in western Bulgaria, officials say. The incident happened on a motorway southwest of the capital, Sofia, at about 5:30 a.m. IST. According to the Interior Ministry official, the incident occurred at the near village of Bosnik. North Macedonia's Prime Minister Zoran Zaev has already contacted his Bulgarian counterpart to discuss the incident.
Cinematic festivity continued on day 4 of the 52nd edition of IFFI. A mix of award-winning Indian and foreign films were screened across venues in Goa. A report.
Renowned filmmakers Shujit Sarkar and Ronnie Lahiri had the audience on their toes with the masterclass session. Shujit Sarkar narrated the making of his film Sardar Udham, which has won rave reviews. Ukrainian filmmakers took to the red carpet at the 52nd IFFI in Goa today. Their film Rhino was screened at the festival. A special tribute to Sir Sean Connery, who immortalized the role of James Bond on celluloid, was given with the screening of the Bond thriller Goldfinger. Gravedigger's Wife, the winner of the grand prize at the Pan-African Film and Television Festival, was another attraction of today. The movie by Finnish Somali writer-director Kader Adras Ahmad is a moving story of love and devotion which follows the protagonist Guled, played by Omar Abdi. Later in the day, IFFI paid homage to late veteran actress Surekha Sikri in her film Badhai Ho. Pawan for IFFI Desk, Panji, Goa.
President Ramnath Kovind will be on a 2-day visit to Uttar Pradesh from tomorrow. Mr. Kovind will grace and address the birth centenary celebrations of Chaudhry Harmohan Singh Yadav tomorrow. On Thursday, the President will grace and address the centenary celebrations of Harcourt Butler Technical University. Harcourt Butler Technical University, HBTU, is a premier state technical university situated at Kanpur. The HBTU was named after Sir Spencer Harcourt Butler, Governor of the United Provinces in British India, and is one of the oldest engineering institutes in the country.
Odisha capital Bhubaneswar is all set to host the FIH Hockey Men's Junior World Cup beginning tomorrow. The mega sporting event is scheduled to continue till 5th of December. Our correspondent reports that there are 4 teams each in 4 pools. Defending champion India is placed in Group B, along with Canada, France and Poland. Belgium will play South Africa in the first game in Kalinga Stadium in Bhubaneswar tomorrow. India will begin their campaign against France. Indian shuttlers Parupalli Kashyap and Lakshya Sen bowed out of the ongoing Indonesia Open in Bali today. While Kashyap lost by 11-21, 14-21 to Singapore's Loh Keen Yew, Kento Momoto of Japan defeated Sen 23-21, 21-15. The men's doubles pair of M.R. Arjun and Dhruv Kapila also were out of the tournament. South Korea's duo of Koi Soe-gyu and Kim Won-ho defeated Arjun and Kapila by 22-20, 21-13. World champion PV Sindhu and former world number 1 Srikanth Kadambi will play their first round matches tomorrow.
The Regional Met Department has predicted that the cyclonic circulation over Southeast Bay of Bengal and neighbourhood now lies over central parts of Southeast Bay of Bengal. Due to its influence, a low-pressure area is likely to form over Southwest Bay of Bengal during the next 24 hours. It is likely to move west-northwestwards towards Sri Lanka and South Tamil Nadu coast. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. President Ramnath Kovind confers gallantry awards at the 3rd Defence Investiture Ceremony today. India agrees to release 5 million barrels of crude oil from its strategic petroleum reserves. Prime Minister Narendra Modi discusses Bengaluru flooding with Karnataka Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai. CM announces master plan to widen main stormwater drains in Bengaluru. Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman says Jammu and Kashmir is going through a rapid development phase, says the economy of J&K will double in the coming years. Minister of Railways Ashwini Vaishnav announces theme-based tourist circuit trains Bharat Gaurav. Niti Aayog launches Sustainable Development Goals Urban Index and Dashboard 2021-22. Shimla tops the index, followed by Coimbatore and Chandigarh. Over 118 crore 35 lakh COVID vaccine doses administered in the country so far, recovery rate at 98.32%. Former Congress leader Kirti Azad joins Trinamool Congress. 46 people die in a bus accident in western Bulgaria. In hockey, Men's Junior World Cup 2021 tournament to begin in Bhubaneswar tomorrow. And in Indonesia Open Badminton, Parupalli Kashyap and Lakshya Sen crash out in first round. PV Sindhu and Kidambi Shrikant to play first round matches tomorrow. With that, we end the evening news. Good night.